3, 1. And if you look at this multiple choice, cannot be equal to 0. You have two different ways. X squared plus 1. Look at this. This is answer B. Why? Because this one is always greater or equal to 0. If you add number with greater than or equal to 0 plus 1, it's always would be result would be always greater than 0. So it cannot be equal to 0. Because to 1 you add some values, it's greater than 0. It cannot be equal to 0. Or second way, x squared plus 1 equals to 0. Minus 1 minus 1, you have x squared equals to -1, which is impossible for rational numbers. It can be only for complex number. In rational numbers, it has no solution. Two different ways. Any questions? No questions. Let me go through briefly through 3-2. In 3-2, let me read everything. In 3-2, f of x mx plus b and f of 5 minus f of 2 divided by 3 equals to 2. M is a question mark. Okay. What is f of 5? Equals m times 5 plus b, or 5m plus b. What is f of 2? M times 2 plus b, or 2m plus b. Okay. If you plug in over this over there, and this over here, what would have? 5m plus b minus, and I open parentheses automatically. You put in parentheses minus 2m minus b divided by 3 equals to 2. Combine like terms, cancel, cancel. 5m minus 2m, 3m divided by 3 equals to 2. Cancel out, m equals to 2. If you have any questions, if it's too fast, ask me any questions, okay? If you don't ask me a question, I assume that you understand everything. It was 3-2. Next is 3-3. In 3-3, what we have? Line passes through point 83. I write for myself what is given, 83. And b, -2. Is parallel to graph. We have graph y equals to 1 over 2x minus 10. And 5a minus b. Well, x1, y1, x2, y2, slope y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, or -2 minus 3 divided by b minus a. And if you subtract, would be -5 over b minus a, or -5 by b minus a. If they parallel, this slope of this line supposed to be equal to this slope. If two lines parallel, the slope are equal. So In addition, before, to save time, I multiply numerator denominator by -1 because they ask you to find a minus b by -1 and by -1. I'll get 5 divided by a minus b, flip sign, equals to 1/2. Or a minus b equals to 10. Check mark. What I use, I only use property two parallel lines. By the way, it was your pattern 07 or 08, remember. Any questions so far? Understand up to this point everything I did? Raise your hand. If you don't understand, ask me. Who thinks this is too fast? If it's too fast, I do slowly. I just want to explain you more. Who has question about this? Raise hand about any questions. No question. I believe everybody writing everything in your notebook, right? You write in notebook every step. This is crucial. 1,000 my student get 1,000 get perfect or close to perfect score, but they must write it down. P2, P3, next is 3, 4. 3, 4, we have y equals mx minus 2/3 and 2x plus 3y equals to 4. If system, no solution. No solution. One of this way, unscramble in format. What is no solution? It means two lines are parallel and y-intercepts are different, right? They never intersect. Unscramble. Minus 2x minus 2x. Cancel out 3y. Negative 2x plus 4. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. And let me line up these two graphs if we have it. Y equals to -2/3x plus 4/3. First of all, we see y-intercept is different, which is good. And second, if no solution, they're supposed to be parallel. They parallel and their slopes are the same. So slope and picture would be like this. They never intersect. M equals to -2/3, check mark. It was 3, 4. Okay, if not too fast, you have question, ask me. 3, 5. I need more room. Can I erase everything? Yes. 5. And 3, 5. F of x equals x minus 1 to the second minus x minus 1. What is it? Minus 1. And they ask you to find f for 1 minus x. So just plug in. Okay. So f of 1 minus x instead of x. What do you have? You have instead of x 1 minus x and minus 1 to the second minus 1 minus x instead of x minus 1 and minus 1 or cancel out. Okay, cancel out this and this, cancel out. You have negative x to second power. What is it? X to the second. This and this cancel out. Minus minus is plus. Minus 1. If you look at multiple choice, this is D. D as in Daniel. 35. Just substitution. Definition of function. Have question, ask me. Three, 6. Three, 6. Have to make a picture. Kind of like this. And you connect this. And you connect this. And this A, B, C. A, B, C, origin, X. And this graph f of x equals negative x squared plus 16. The graph function is shown in xy. What the value of area of triangle? Area of triangle ABC. Question mark. Okay, well, how to find this area? First of all, I need to find base. To find base when y equals to 0. So when this equals to 0, I can easily find this axis, right? So step number 1. F of x for negative x squared plus 16 equals to 0. Or if you multiply by negative 1, you get x squared minus 16 equals to 0. Or plus 16 and plus 16, x squared equals to 16. Take square root of both sides. More room here. Plus minus 4. So this is negative 4. 0. This is plus 4. 0. So far so good. And how to find this height? Height when x equals to 0. When x equals to 0, f of 0 equals negative 0 to the second power plus 16, which is 16. Excellent. So you know the 16. This height equals to 16. And this is 4. This is negative 4. You can easily find this distance. This distance equals 4 minus negative 4, which is 8. Excellent. So we have this our base. Area of triangle equals base times height divided by 2, or 8 times 16 divided by 2. 2 goes in 16 8 times. 8 times 8, 64 square units. Typical questions, easy, not difficult. So question asked me. Any questions? So what I found this point, I found base, I found this point, I found height. I just multiply them. And we have any question asked me? 36. Next is three, 7 very fast. 3, 7. You have a minus 2b, or not 2b, and divided by b equals 2 over 3. What is a over b? Question mark. Well, you can use like in 3rd grade, butterfly rule. Remember butterfly rule? Divide this by this. You'll get a over b minus 2b divided by b, it will be 2. 2b over b, 2 minus 2 equals 2 over 3 plus 2 and plus 2. A over b cancel out equals 2 and 2 over 3 or 8 over 3. Check mark. 3, 7. 3, 8 very fast. Create. Again, if you have any question without hesitation, raise your hand. You can ask me any amount of questions in any stage. If you don't understand this, your goal, what is your goal? To go home with 100% understanding of this test. Okay. D8. Y equals to m square root of x. And y equals to mx. I usually write not in this, not line up, or because I saves time to override again. Mx minus k. What else do you know? Okay, system equation mk constant. 416 is solution. 416 is solution of system equation. What the value of k? K is a question mark. Okay, if you have this. What is it? This is x, this is y. If I plug in here, instead of y, 16 equals m square root of 4. So far so good. Or this is 2. I use positive value. Square root of 4 is 2m. And the y was powered by 2. 8. What I found, m equals to 8. Now plug into the second equation. For the second, instead of y is 16, but m is 8. I plug in here 8. 8 times x is 4 minus k. Or 16 equals to 32 minus k. Minus 32 minus 32. I will get the answer to find value of k. Negative 16 cancel out equals to negative k. Or multiply both part by negative 1. I got 16 equals to k, check mark. Simple substitution. Okay, I'm gonna go through question where you ask me. 3-9 very fast. Okay, 3-9. And 3-9. You have a parabola. Between this parabola, not to scale. And these two values, this AT, and like this parabola, this is M, and this is H, this origin, X, Y, okay, and this is math, less rectangle, MA equals to, where is MA? MA, this is 25. They ask you to find AT to this question to find. And they have equation. Equation of this line is f of x equals x minus 10 to the second. This is my parabola, upward. Okay, but look at this. This parabola goes through this point. From the point where y, when y equals to 25, so A has x 25 or x1 25, and T has x2 25. So this value y is 25. So this, what is f x and y? This is 25. How to find x minus 10? Take square root of both parts. Don't forget they're supposed to be plus minus or plus minus 5. And what we have? We got x minus 10 equals to 5. Or x minus 10 equals to negative 5. Plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 and plus 10. Cancel out x equals to either 15 or x equals to 5. So this is 5x and this is 15. How to find delta, this difference, delta? 15 minus 5, which is 10. 10. So the answer is 10. Okay, questions? What is common previously did? We found coordinate. After that, you can find anything about this rectangle. If too fast, ask me. It was 3.9, 3.10, nobody asked. 3.11. All right, to have more room. If you have no questions, let's go to 3.11. What do we have in 3.11? In 3.11, we have f of x function equals to k times x plus 4 times x minus 10. Right? Function above. K is constant. The graph function of parabola vertex, given vertex, A, B, what else is given? And B equals to -7. You can write vertex A -7. What else? Principal equals to K. K is a question mark. Okay. 3.11. Let's do step by step. Also typical question from this test. And we're gonna go through the steps. Okay. So I assume this parabola goes like this somehow. I don't know how. Let's say the general speaking, this one. I want to find like we did before, a standard, this point. And when it's equals to 0, it's equals to 0 when either x plus 4 equals to 0 or x minus 10 equals to 0 or x equals to -4 or x equals to 10. I know this is -4 and this is 10 schematically. Okay. Now, you know, parabola are very symmetrical, always symmetrical. And vertex belongs to the midpoint. It's not nice midpoint of this. So how to find midpoint? X midpoint equals x1 plus x2 divided by 2. In our case is -4 plus 10 divided by 2, which is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Excellent, this is 3. So you know the vertex is 3. So x equal to 3. So what if I plug in I don't know where I write this equation again. Let me make more room. It would be faster. You can write it again. I want to find value of y. This y. How? To plug in 3 in this equation. F of 3 equals k times 3 plus 4 instead of x times 3 minus 10. This is 7. And this is negative 7. And from another side, coordinate of vertex is a negative 7. It means y equals to negative 7. This is given. So this is equals to negative 7. Good. Let me read this stuff as well to save space and time. Okay. And what we have, k, 7 times negative 7, negative 49, equals to negative 7. How to find k? Divide by negative 49 by negative 49 both parts. Cancel, 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 7. It would be 1 over 7. 1 over 7. What I did, typical, I found roots. When this equal to 0, find midpoint. Midpoint is specified position of vertex. Vertex also. Either use midpoint this, or you can use x equals to negative bx squared over 2a, this formula. If you have equation of parabola, this is much better for this situation. And find k. Any question about this 311, students?
Why did you make k times negative 49 equal to negative 7?
Good. So look at this. F of 3, just physically, forget this equation on stage. F of 3, when you plug in 3 to equation of this, which is x, when you plug in x equals 3 to this equation, you'll find y. When you plug into this, you find y. Right? Yes or no? For instance, when x equals to 0, you plug in, you can find value of y. I plug in 3, I found value of y. What is y? By y position of the vertex. And how you plug in over there? I plug in 3 instead of x. K times 7, 3 minus 10, negative 7. I got left part k times negative 49. But from another side, this is given. And what is y? What is this? This is y. Y of the same point. Since we're talking about the same point, we name this point vertex. And y equals to negative 7. I make this equals to negative 7. Based on this, I easily found k. Why? Because we're talking about the same point. From one side, I found y of this point from equation. And the second side, they given. It's given. So I make them equals to each other because we're talking about the same point. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Any questions? More questions? 311, no questions. 312. What we have for 312? Let me see this. 312. What we have on 312? We have two parallels. And two transversals. And this A, B, what is it? E, G, and C. 1 ln where is this two line L, M, they parallel, which the form must be true. Look at this triangle, A, B, C, D, E, F. If you look triangle A, B, C, B, the small b, is exterior angle, exterior. Outside is continuation of two sides, this side and this side, exterior. This exterior angle. And you know theorem that exterior angle equals total of two remote angles. By definition, by this theorem, B equals to E plus D. Property of exterior angle. This angle is adjacent. Remember, a remote control like this used for TV, whatever, because it's far from you. And two angles far from this. So definition of exterior angle. Point. This is answer. If you look at multiple choice, it's clear B. So far, so good. The question asked me this property of exterior angle. Thirteen. 13. What we have? 5 x to the second plus kx plus 1 divided by x minus 1 equals ax plus 1 plus 2 divided by x minus 1. I deliberately make it a little bit tilted up or move up because when you add fractions third grade, you have to have the same denominator. We name it LCD. I put over 1, which is the same. And easy to operate with two sides if I use it's x minus 1, I put here x minus 1. And 1, like you did in third grade when you added fractions. Okay. Now, let me operate with right part. What I have? I have right part. Forget about left part so far. I save space and time. I have ax plus 1 times x minus 1 plus 2 and divided by x minus 1. Or I can open parentheses using the distributive property. I will have ax squared minus ax plus x minus 1 and plus 2. Let me write this one. I don't need to confuse you extra symbols. Divided by x minus 1. Now look at structure of this. Okay, look at structure this and this. Let me combine like terms and combine this together and put x beyond of parentheses. I'll have ax squared plus plus, if I put x beyond of parentheses, I always look at this one. I have 1 minus a times x and plus 1 divided by x minus 1. Now look at this, what we accomplished. We have two fractions, this one and this what is given, x minus 1. Since they have the same denominator, in order they're supposed to be equal, the numerator is supposed to be the same. What I'm doing right now, I will put this numerator, okay, 5x squared. Or you can think I multiply both part by x minus 1. Plus kx and plus 1. And what I get here, ax squared plus 1 minus a times x plus 1. What I did so far, I added two fractions and combined like terms, nothing else. Oh, what the question? The question, value of k. Look at this. I name it, I almost finished book. We're writing 17 books right now. One, how to get perfect score in SAT or patterns SAT. This pattern we name beautiful symmetry. Look at this. We have two equations. They have the same structure, two parts. One part, x squared with coefficient, x squared coefficient. X with coefficient, x with coefficient. We have 1 and 1. In order to say it's supposed to be equal, use beautiful symmetry. What is it? Instantly 5 equals to 8 and k equals to 1 minus a. So a equals to 5 based on beautiful symmetry, and k equals to 1 minus a, but plug in here 5, okay, it's 1 minus 5, which is negative 4. Check that. Use this pattern a lot in SAT. In many questions, just simplify, make them in the same order, and equality of two parts accomplished with their coefficient are the same. It's it. You know, with beautiful symmetry. Any question about this?
I'm confused how you got 1 minus a from negative ax plus x.
Over there?
Yeah.
Okay, look at this. I have negative ax. I put this piece plus x equals x times negative a plus 1. So far, so good. Look at this. X times negative a, negative ax. X times 1 is x. But it's not nice. I can switch position. It's the same. I can write x times 1 minus a. Pretend there's two cards. One card, another card. I just switch these two cards. Boom. Now check it again. How to check if it's correct? X times 1 is x. X times negative a is negative ax. I put in convenient form. I even don't need this. I can put like 1 minus a, it would be the same. Okay. It's just more convenient. The result would be the same. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
If I don't do this, what happens? If I don't do this, what happens? I have 1 minus a. And 1 minus a, if you plug in, you get the same answer. Yes.
What happened to the 5x squared plus kx plus 1? Wasn't that supposed to be divided by x minus 1?
Yes, it is. I just told you. Let me write this again. Look at this, what we got here. In order to save space and time, I will use what I have already, right? Yes or no? This is what is given, and this is what we got. Semi. I got ax squared plus 1 minus a times x plus 1 divided by x minus 1. What we know? Always you think about domain and range, right? Domain, x minus 1 not equals to 0. Why? Because you cannot divide by 0. Since x minus 1 not equals to 0, I mentally, I told you, I did not write to save time. I might as well multiply by both part by x minus 1. Look at this, x minus 1 cancel out. X minus 1 cancel out. So far, so
Okay,
good.
that makes sense. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
I thought different way. Second approach. We have two fractions. They equal to each other. Denominator equals to each other. Based on this, what numerator must equal to each other. Either way. So far, so good. Questions? Just a second. Let me figure out limit of time. Okay, we don't have enough time. Okay, 314. 314 very fast. Okay. In 314, by question, we have 4 times x minus 2 to the second. What is it? Minus 1 equals to 5. What the solution? What the solution of this? Okay, well, plus 1 and plus 1. You have 4 times x minus 2 to the second cancel out equals to 6. Or divide by 4 both parts. Or what you have? You can simplify this as which format they provided. You need simplify? No, by problem not to simplify because since I had to get square root of this. I have x minus 2 to the second equals to 6 over 4. Square root, square root. Don't forget to put plus minus. And what I have here, x minus 2, when I take radical, equals to plus minus square root of 6. I look in format of multiple choice they provided. You know, square root of quotient equals quotient of square root. It's equals square root of 6, and square root of 4 is 2. Now plus 2 and plus 2. X cancel out equals 2 plus minus square root of 6 over 2. What format they provided? Okay, this format. 314. If you have a question, ask me. 316. 15, nobody asked me. 316. We have a picture. Where is it? 316. Yes, picture like this. And this is right angle. And this is altitude. AG CX B. Okay, what we have? A sine of x equals 0.8. What else? AC equals to 20. Where is the AC? This AC equals to 20. What the length of BD? BD is a question mark. First of all, you can easily, since they give cosine in triangle ABC, which is right triangle, right? You can easily find BC. How to find BC? BC equals AC times cosine of x equals AC is 20. Cosine of x equals 0.8. This would be 16. So this is 16. Okay. So far so good. Good. Now, how to find area of this triangle? I can solve a few different ways. What is 20? 20 is 5 times 4. What is 16 is 4 times 4. And this is supposed to be 3 times 4. Pythagorean triple. 3, 4, 5 triangle. This is 12. This is step number 1. Step number 2. Area of triangle ABC equals either 16 times 12 divided by 2 or equals BD times 20 divided by 2. This height times this base, or this height times this base, or 12 times 16 divided by 2. Because why? This is the same triangle. Okay, so you can simplify this, so you can do in one shot. Simplify it, it will be 10. This would be what? 4. 8 over there. 8 times 12 is 96. Or 10 BD, or BD times 10, equals to 96. Divide by 10 and divide by 10. Cancel out. This would be 9.6. This is one way. But not necessary. I can provide the different ways how to find. So far, so good. Questions? If you have a question, ask me. No questions? I will make another example very fast since typical questions. For instance, look at this. When I look at this from second way. Second way. Since you know this is 20, 12, 16, right? How to find BD? I'll take triangle BDC and BD equals BC hypotenuse times sine of x. Well, the problem is I don't have sine x, I have cosine x. But from Pythagorean identity, you know that sine square x plus cosine square x always equals to 1. I plug in this, but again, sine square x plus 0.8 to the second power equals to 1. Or sine square x plus 0.64 equals to 1. Or minus 0.64 minus 0.64. I get sine square x equals to 0.36. If I take square root of both parts, I get sine x equals to 0.6. Now plug into this formula. This one, and BC equals to 16. So this next step, BD equals 16 times 0.6, which is 9.6. I can show few more different ways how to solve this problem. My idea, just don't be afraid of this. Whatever you have, just operate with your knowledge. Okay? Questions? This is we did 2 different ways. Okay. 317. 317. Let's go with this. Can I erase everything? Yes. Before you erase, any questions? No questions. You have, what is it? 317. 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 5x minus 25 equals to 0. What they ask you to find? For what real value of x equal? Okay. So actually, generally speaking, this cubic equation, but for SAT, they may simplify. One of the best way regrouping. Let me regroup these two and these two. Look at this. If I put GCF, greatest common factor, beyond the parentheses, right? What I'll get? I get 2x to the second and x minus 5 plus, for this group GCF is 5 and x minus 5. Beautiful. You see we have commonalities. I put x minus 5 times 2x squared plus 5 equals to 0. Now, when it's equal to 0, in 2 conditions, either x minus 5 or x equals to 5. And this does not work because they have real and you got imaginary. This only answer because this, when this equals to 0, so x squared equals to negative value, which is impossible for real numbers. So x equals to 5. Just regrouping. Any questions? Also typical. Don't be afraid if you have 3rd or 4th degree. All of them not complicated. Okay, you have a question, ask me. 318. 318. Let's make a picture. 318. Practice to make picture. Many questions on the test, they don't have pictures. So practice by yourself. Use opportunity to practice. Okay, this right. A, B, 9, P, Q, C, D, 3. And what is given? AB9, CD3, where is CD3? AC equals to 12. This one, AC equals to 12. AC equals to 12. PQ. Find PQ. Also typical question. You can write, I put extra line here. Here's the controller. this line parallel to this. And let's say this is x, plus this is y. Y. Again, we can solve few different ways this problem. For instance, I'll put more. First we can write x plus y equals to 12. Second, triangle BAP similar to triangle PDC. Why? Vertical angle is the same, two parallel lines, alternate interior, they similar. Angle, angle, angle. If they similar, you can write x over y, their size and proportion equals to 9 to 3, or 3 over 1. Or if you cross multiply, x equals to 3y. If you plug in here, this is 3y. Step number 3, you can write 3y plus y, which is 4y, which is 12. Divide by 4, divide by 4, y equals to 3. So this is 3. And this is 3 times 3, which is 9. So this is 9, this is 3. You know this. Now, look at two triangles. In two triangles, and by the way, if this is 9, this is 9. Why? Because opposite side of rectangle. And this is 3. Step number 4. Look at this triangle ADC, similar to triangle APD, APQ. Why is this similar? 90, 90, this 90, this 90 degrees, common vertex, and supplementary angle is the same. Or we can use parallel and transversal. Angle, angle, if similar, and let's say we have x, y, z, this is z. 3 to 12, like z to 9. So 3 to 12, this side to this side, like this side to this side. Z over 9. Cross. Right here, 12z equals to 3 times 9. Divide by 12. Cancel, cancel. 3 goes into 9 into 12 4 times. It would be 9 over 4. 4 steps, also a very typical question. So far, so good. The 18. If you have a question, ask me.
Hey, how did you get like step 2 where you get x equals 3y? How did you get that?
Which one again?
Step number 2.
Step 2. Good. Look at this. You see a triangle. BAP and PDC are the same. And this altitude of this triangle, x, and this altitude of this triangle, y. Since these triangles are similar, their sides in proportion. So take this big side to this small side, like this big side to this small side. What is big side? Is 9. This vertical 9. Small is 3. I simplify, I get x over y equals to 3 over 1 cross x equals to 3y. If they're similar, we name it scaling factor. Scaling factor 3. Perimeter 3 times bigger, size 3 times bigger, altitude 3 times bigger. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Did I answer your question? 100% or maybe?
Okay, and then what's called, you got like y equals 3 after that. Why would you do 3y plus 4?
It's not 4. It's y. It's not
Oh, okay,
4.
and yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
3y is y4. 3y plus y. 3y plus y is 4y. Okay, more questions? Okay, if you don't have more questions, ask me more questions. Okay. Don't think this is only solution we can have. We have time, I can show another way. From analytical, we can get analytical geometry, this solution. So let me think about different way how to solve. Not necessarily the only solution. Again, if I told you, as I told you, you can solve any problem a few different ways. Let me solve it a different way. Forget what I did here. I erase everything. We have time. We have like 18 minutes. Yes. You have to have tools. If you have tools, you can solve any problem with this. Look at this. What we have. Actually, we have two lines. The equation of line mx plus b. If you created the equation of two lines, you can find point of intersection, easily find it once. Second way. The second way. For instance, step number 1. And then you do this again. Y equals mx plus b. And slope equals y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. And we create this equation of line. Number 1, slope. Let me see this point. Since this is 9, and pretend we have Cartesian coordinate goes like this, 0. This point B is 0, 9. And this point, so far so good. And point, since it's 12, C has coordinate 12, 0. And since this is 3, this D has coordinate 12 and 3. And this is 0, 0. Now, since you have everything, you can find slope of BC. Look at this. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. 0 minus 9 divided by 12 minus 0. It's negative 9 over 12, which is negative 3 over 4. Excellent. So step number 2. Y of BC equals negative 3 over 4x plus b. B is 9. Good. Step number 3. In the same manner, you can find slope of this line, AD. And it would be y2 is 3 minus 0 divided by 12 minus 0. 3 over 12, which is 1 over 4. And since this goes from origin, y-intercept equal to 0, and y of line AD equals 1 over 4x. Good. B equals to 0. Since in point of intersection, the y's are the same, you can write that y BC equals YAD. So YBC step number, what is it, 4? 4. YBC equals to YAD equals to negative 3 over 4x plus 9 equals to 1 over 4x. Now, you add 3 over 4x, add 3 over 4x, cancel out, bring down 9, 3 over 4 plus 1 over 4, what we have? You have 9, 4 over 4, which is x, x equals to 9. But we need to find y coordinate of this. Plug into any of this equation, for instance, this one. And y AD would be 1 over 4 times 9, which is 9 over 4. Okay, different perspective. My suggestion, I remember one nice kid, his score was not the highest. His name was Francis. And she came after class and said, Dr. Farr, I wanna go to MIT to get the highest score. I said, very welcome, just practice, do what I give you. And once she said she spent more than 3 hours for one problem, but she solved it. And finally, her score became perfect. So at home, think more. Don't only solve problem, try to find different solutions. And this, your tools would be rich, and you can solve any problem with this from different perspectives. Each problem can be solved not necessarily one way. Okay, which you like better, previous or analytical? This one, think better to have both way, actually. 319. 319. What we have in 319, let me find it out. I already closed everything. Give my explanation. 319. Oh, okay. 19 and 20, so it's one problem combined. It's two problems combined in one problem, like in one topic. $319. What we have? You have two plans, A and plan B. Plan A, 0.25 per domestic tests. So cost for plan A is 0.25 times X, where X is number of tests. X is number of tests. Text message. What is about plan B? Any 200 domestic test. So you have, and look how to they represent it. $10. You pay $10 cost if you have between X and 200. But if you have over 200, cost would be 10 plus 0.15. They said, since you already pay for 200, it's over 200, X minus 200. We have two plans. This is how they work. We understand this. Let's solve 319. In 319, for what number of texts do the two plans cost the same per month? For instance, you have two options, either this equal to this or this equal to this. So case A, 0.25x equals to 10 divided by 25 by 0.25, you get 40. Okay, for 40 text, you'll be the same answer. Or you can do this one. Or 0.25x equals 10 plus 0.15 times x minus 200. And what I'll get, 0.25x equals 10 plus 0.15x minus, what is it, minus 30, right? Okay, minus 0.15x minus 0.15x. Okay, combine like terms, what we have? We have 0.10x equals to negative 20, which has no sense. So this does not work. It's work only for A, so answer is 40. It's impossible, so this is not the answer. Cross it out. And the answer for 319 is 20. Is 40. No, 320. And 320. Okay. If Angela used 400 texts per month, if she is 400, how to apply this 400 for both of these? For plan A, she will pay C of A, she pay 0.25 times 400, and it will be divided by 4, it's $100. But versus plan B, cost of B, since 400 is exceed than 200, I use this formula. I will get 10 plus 0.15. Instead of x, I put 400 minus 200, which is 200. And this is 0.15 times 200 is 30. Okay. So 10 plus 30 is $40. But the question is, how much she will save? Easy. Compared to this, find the difference. Difference in math, use delta. Delta equals CH minus CB equals 100 minus 40, which is 60. And this will be 60. Okay. So I explained all your questions, absolutely all what you asked. And you see they're not challenging. Only question to redo everything what we did in class. Let me write your homework at home. Since we have some discrepancy, let me bring this whiteboard.